So it is Sunday, and I went to the mall with my family to look at sales to see if I could find some t-shirts. No shirts. Instead, I found this. It is Destiny Arrives by Liza Palmer. And did this come out this year? Yeah, so this came out just this year. It is Marvel, and it's called Destiny Arrives. However, this is actually the novelization of Infinity War, guys. So I saw this at Target, and I ran to Barnes & Noble because my mom was there and she had her card, so I was able to get it for a better price at Barnes & Noble. But this is actually the novelization for Infinity War. So I saw it and I freaked out and I grabbed it because I was actually reading parts of it at Target to see if I liked it, and I did. And the disc jacket comes off, and the cover art is Thanos, the bad guy. The best part is periodically throughout the book, you will get some, oh dear Lord, not that. Now I gotta find them because the book actually has illustrations of moments from the movie. So I think that is, yeah, that would be, spoiler alert, Thor arriving in Wakanda with Stormbreaker. And then this is the battle with Shuri, Wanda, and Vision. So you have like a bunch of really cool, I can't find the one I really, really like. Oh, here's a good one. So they have a ton of these really great illustrations in here, and I cannot wait to dive into this book. This is going to be really exciting. I'm so mad because I found this really cool illustration, and now I can't find it. Oh gosh, why did I find that one? Okay, you guys, this is the scene. I wrote her head. This is the scene that made me start crying in Target, was that scene right there. That scene made me start crying, and I did not know there was a picture for it. I'm actually looking for a completely different picture, and now I can't find it. I'm so mad. I'm so very mad. I wanted to show you guys this really neat picture, and I can't find it. That's not it. That's not it either. That's not it. That's not it. That's still not it. No! So it looks like at the start of every part, that's where you're going to find these really cool illustrations about, well, almost every part. I'm still bummed I can't find this illustration that I freaked out over. I opened it up and I just landed on this random page and there was this really cool illustration. But yeah, so cannot wait to dive in and read Destiny Arrives. I'm always fixing my hair when I start filming. Hi guys! It is Monday. It is Memorial Day. I just got back from my bike ride. I was planning to go to the game today. I opted not to go to the game today simply because it is Memorial Day weekend. I thought the game was going to be packed. I probably would have been able to go because it didn't look that packed. But I'm just going to wait and go in June and July. And of course I'm going in August. So if I miss the games in May, I'm not that brokenhearted. I'm just sad that there's not more that I can go to that are like in the afternoon because I would just bike to them. But yeah, I went downtown, I biked today, and one of the reasons I biked is I wanted to go see my Uncle Larry's cross. Now, I'm not sure if I've ever mentioned this on the blog, so I apologize if I'm mentioning information I've already said. But my family, especially on my mom's side, has a history of family members serving in the armed forces. I have a couple of relatives of my dad who did that. My dad, I had a uncle called Billy June who was part of a cavalry during the Civil War. And more recently, my dad's brother-in-law, my Uncle Steve, was part of the Army National Guard and went over to Iraq during that operation. On my mom's side, I have a cousin who was buried in Normandy, France, who was there during World War II. Don't remember his name, but I know about him because he's in my book. My Uncle Larry, who is the cross I went to go see today, he was in the Army. My grandma Sharon's one husband was in the military, and my Aunt Chris did ROTC in college, and she was part of the military. She went to, I want to say she was in Berlin when the wall, around the time the wall, no, she wouldn't have been. She went to Berlin. She went to, she was in the first Iraq War. And then before she was discharged because of a brain tumor, she was actually stationed in Korea at the DMZ. So, and my grandma married a military man. They lived in Okinawa, Japan, and Alaska, and Texas, and all over. So, like I said, history of military in my family. And actually, my brother at one point was actually thinking of going to the armed forces because he was thinking about going into cybersecurity. But unfortunately, that division was, I think it was in the Navy or the Air Force, one of those two. It was phased out, so he didn't join. My mom's joke when we were younger is that it was my brother and I did decide to go into the armed forces. The Army got us first, but I have no desire to be in the armed forces, and my brother, he lost interest when they phased out cybersecurity. But today, I went to go see my Uncle Larry's cross. My Uncle Larry is my uncle through marriage. He married my great aunt Karen. And he volunteered. He wasn't drafted. He served in the Vietnam War and he volunteered. And that's kind of, in the Vietnam War, for those of you who don't know, that was a kind of a very unpopular war here in the United States, to the point that the men who made it back, they were not allowed to get jobs. They could not get housing or healthcare or do anything because the Vietnam War was such an unpopular war. They were called baby killers. Granted, the Vietnam War was a war that we probably shouldn't have taken part in the first place, but the soldiers shouldn't have been blamed. And I remember writing about this in college because I had to write a report, and I chose to write about an amendment, a federal law that had to be passed because of how Vietnam vets were being treated. This law was passed so that they could get jobs, that they could get work. And the sad thing is some of them they're still just now getting the respect they deserve for doing this. My uncle volunteered to go fight in this very unpopular war. And my mom was just a little kid. His son was just a baby. So he volunteered to go fight in this war, and unfortunately, like thousands of others, my uncle never came home. He was in a Chinook helicopter, which, odd thing to say, Chinook helicopter is a really cool looking helicopter. If you guys ever get a chance to see one, it is awesome. He was in a Chinook helicopter with some of his guys, and I don't know if it was friendly fire or enemy fire, but it got shot down. And the weird thing is my mom learned that they'd just been sitting in a different part of the helicopter. Some of them probably would have survived, maybe would have made it. Unfortunately, they weren't sitting in that part, and they all died. So, I went to go see my uncle's cross because on Memorial Day weekend here in Midland, out in front of the courthouse, they do crosses for those who have served in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and the Iraq wars, and they put their names on these crosses in gold plates with the war, and they put them in front of the courthouse lawn. And I have tried to get down there to see my Uncle Larry's cross every year since I was in 4th grade, because in 4th grade, here, when I was in elementary school, we did this thing called safety patrol when we were 5th grade, and one of our duties was taking down the flag at the end of the school day. And to help prepare us for that, to Memorial Day, we had officers come and teach us how the proper way to fold the flag and how to be respectful and all that stuff. And then we got on a bus and we did a little mini field trip because it was Memorial Day weekend. So that Friday before Memorial Day, they put us on a bus and we went to the courthouse and they gave us all these flags and we put the flags on the crosses. And I remember watching all the kids flock to the crosses for World War II and Korea, and like nobody stepped foot near the Vietnam section. And that was actually the first time I learned. I went home and I told my mom that. My mom went, yeah, because that was an unpopular war, so those kids probably don't know anything about it, whereas I grew up hearing about it. So it was like myself and one other of my classmates, and we were the only two who went to the Vietnam War section because my aunt has specifically requested that I put the flag on my uncle's cross that year, which I did. And then I had a classmate who had also lost an uncle in the Vietnam War, and I had his uncle's name, and I went and put a flag on his uncle's cross. And I think that made my aunt so happy, because when we went to the Memorial Day parade on Monday, which For someone like me, it's not the smartest thing because they fire off guns, and I don't like guns. I don't like the sound. But she was so happy, and she got a picture of me in front of the cross because that meant so much to her that I went and I put a flag on my uncle's cross. So I try to see his cross every year. I haven't been successful, and this year I timed it, so I was able to go take pictures, and I will insert a picture after I end this clip for the day. But yeah. Memorial Day, my family doesn't celebrate a lot of holidays, and again, that's by choice, but Memorial Day has always been somewhat important to us because of my uncle, and my mom actually almost walked out of church yesterday. For those of you who aren't from America who don't really know, there are like 3 days where we celebrate the military, and they all have separate meanings. They're for the different levels. So, there is Armed Forces Day, Veterans Day, and Memorial Day. Armed Forces Day is for those who are currently serving in the military. So those are for active duty service members. Veterans Day is for those who have served. So those are for the veterans who have served. And Memorial Day is for those who served and never came back home, who gave up their lives for us. So that is the difference. So Memorial Day is for those who are serving. So Veterans Day, no. Armed Forces Day is serving. Veterans Day is served, and Memorial Day is those who served and gave the ultimate sacrifice. So that is the difference, and my mom got kind of upset at our pastor yesterday because our pastor said Memorial Day was a day to acknowledge those who had served, and so he had all the members of the church who had served in the military or were serving in the military stand up to be acknowledged. And then he followed it up by, on Memorial Day, we should also honor first responders. And he said anyone who was a first responder stand up. Nobody did, but he was going to honor them the same way he had honored those who served. That made my mom very, very upset. Because my mom lived through the Vietnam War. She lived through that period. That made my mom very, very upset. And we got home and told my brother that. And my brother got mad because he has had friends. I think he still has a friend who's serving in the military, and they get very mad when somebody references Memorial Day and says it's a day for all service members, because it's not. So my mom almost got up and walked out of church because of that. She actually said if he referenced Trump in any way by name during the service, she was going to get up and leave. Luckily he didn't, so we just left after communion. But yeah, so that's what I did. So I'm going to get going for the day, and I'll insert that picture of my uncle's cross. And I hope you guys had a safe and happy Memorial Day. And yeah, so I'll talk to you guys later. Let's see how well this works. Hi, everybody, or should I say bright suns. It is Saturday. It is the end of the week, and my mind is like gone. It is out in California. It is on Batu, which for those of you wondering why I said bright suns, that is actually the greeting you give during the day on Batu, which is bright suns. At night, it's rising moons. Just some cool little stuff I've picked up from watching some videos and stuff. It is official. Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland is opened. It officially opened yesterday, but they did the dedication Wednesday night, which is what I watched before doing the reaction for the teaser for Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. I know I kept calling it Rise of the Resistance. I don't know why, but Age of Resistance. By the way, thank you everyone who watched and commented on that. It makes me so happy to see, especially since I was kind of bummed because I'm like, I did a Spider-Man reaction and I got like 18 views. So it makes me really happy that I've gotten a ton of views on this new reaction. But I'm super pumped. This is this is a sign that I might be a slightly obsessed Star Wars fan. Just seeing the pictures. Okay, so 6 o'clock, I think Pacific Standard Time or Eastern Standard Time was when you were allowed to start releasing pictures and videos from inside Galaxy's Edge Wednesday night, which was the dedication night. So it wasn't actually officially opened Wednesday, they just did the dedication ceremony. And it was open for like a media preview, like a kind of a soft opening type thing Thursday. And then yesterday, it officially opened to the public. But I started seeing the pictures from Galaxy's Edge in some video, and I actually started to tear up. That, I think, is a sign that I'm that much of a crazy Star Wars fan, is just looking at pictures and videos from Galaxy's Edge made me start crying because it's just so beautiful. And finally, it's real. Finally, we have a real actual, okay, there's Star Tours, but this is different. This is real. This is like we can go and interact with people, and it's so immersive. Tim Tracker is there, and he did a live feed, and he could not believe. He said it is better than Pandora, better than Harry Potter World, because it is so much more immersive. There's so much stuff. Everything is so cool. I mean, literally, Bright Suns, like, I cannot, like, literally, on my bedroom door now, I have a new life goal. Like, my previous life goal was just to go to Disneyland, Disney World in general. My new life goal is to visit Galaxy's Edge. Like, literally, that is it. That is my life goal. I just want to go to Galaxy's Edge for at least 2 days. That's it. But I want to wait until that's why I keep saying Rise of the Resistance. That's the name of the ride. The other ride that's going to be at Galaxy's Edge is Rise of the Resistance. That's why I kept saying, calling it Age of Resistance, Rise of the Resistance, is I want to wait for that ride to open up. But yeah, apparently Smuggler's Run is the only ride that's open right now. Is amazing. Everything is amazing. It is kind of pricey. Build Your Own Ride is $99.99 before tax. Lightsaber, Build Your Own Lightsaber is like $199.99 before tax. So about $100, $200 to the big ticket things. But still, it's so awesome, and they have loft cats. Like, ah! So, I'm sorry, that was really high-pitched and squeaky. But, oh my gosh, it looks amazing. I really, really want to go. And my mom has still not backed down from her promise that as she gets a better job and is able to pay off the debts and get a new car, we will be going to Disney World because it's what I want to do. And I'm like, Galaxy's Edge. So I'm really, really excited, and I'm really, really, really cannot wait. And I might be bad today, and I might buy 2 Star Wars shirts. I don't really need the Star Wars shirts, but I want to get, because my mom last year, for when The Last Jedi came out, got me a t-shirt that says Star Wars Last Jedi. Not this one. This is like a poster t-shirt. But I have one that just says Star Wars The Last Jedi. They have one for Star Wars Rise of Skywalker that I want, and Hot Topic has a girl's version. And it's on sale right now for 20% off. I'm like, oh, I really, really want it. But I am planning, I might wait on it and just bookmark the 2 t-shirts I want from Hot Topic, because I do still have some stuff to get this month for my Marvel collection. You guys, I got the Phase 3 Part 2 box set for the MCU. The same day I got it, I actually went out and got a copy of Black Panther. Because I figure instead of just waiting around for the Phase 3 Part 2 box set to come out, I don't want to wait that long. So I'm just going to go and buy the DVDs I'm missing, the Blu-rays I'm missing, which now I am only missing Ant-Man, the Wasp, Infinity War, and Captain Marvel, and I'm going to get those in a couple weeks when they come out. I think they come out next week or the week after. Captain Marvel comes out on the 11th. So the week after, I think. I don't know. I have no clue when Captain Marvel... Yeah, it should be the 7th. Yeah, so the 14th, I'm going to go get the last 3 DVDs. Oh, I just took pages out of my planner. The 14th, I'm going to go and get the last few DVDs I need. And speaking of Marvel, today is June 1st. That means it is officially the start of the Run Disney Virtual 5K Marvel Summer Series. Okay, so this is the month, and I kept getting July and August mixed up. So this month, it is the Captain Marvel 5K. Next month, it is Iron Man. And in August, it is Black Panther. So I'm a little bit nervous because it's just about it's just like 3 miles. But for those of you who are new or didn't watch these videos, back in March, I was being an idiot and I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, and I fell down the stairs here at our apartment. We live on the 2nd floor, and our foyer the first floor landing is stone, and my mom was taking me to work on a Wednesday in March, and I had a job interview the next day, and I was so focused on that job interview that I wasn't paying attention. I slipped, fell down the stairs, landed on the stone floor, and I sprained a ligament in my right ankle and in my left knee. And I always say this, as my mom says, how does this stuff happen to me? Seriously, I'm like the only person she knows that falls down the stairs and sprains a ligament in one leg and one in the other, instead of just doing 2 in the same leg. So, still not sure how that happened, but it did. Downside is the left knee, the one I sprained the ligament in. I have messed that knee up before. I fell out of a office chair when I was in 5th grade and landed on a stone floor so hard I bruised my knee all the way to the bone. So this is not the first time I've screwed up my knee. So I'm a little bit worried because I have noticed when I walk for at least a mile or more, my knee starts feeling a little twingy, a little tight. So that's why I'm a little bit worried about doing this because, like I said, I want to do the 3 miles in one go. But because of where my apartment is located, it's not like I can just do an easy 3 miles somewhere in, like there. So I have to actually do 4 miles. If I'm just doing it the block around my apartment, I have to do 4 miles to get the 3 miles in. And then in August, I plan on treating myself. One of my favorite restaurants is Pizza Sam's, which I will be showing you guys in July because I will be going there for the 4th, hopefully. That is 3 miles away, and I want to walk to that place in August, but then I have to walk back, which means walking 6 miles. So I'm a little bit hesitant. I'm not hesitant. I'm still going to do this. I'm just kind of nervous about what it's going to do with my knee. Like today, I did my 20 minutes of yoga for flexibility practice, and I actually wrapped my ACE bandage around my knee because I'm like, I have done yoga before. I have done a combination where I've done yoga and then walking, and usually by the second, my knee can't take it anymore. So I did a brace on I did the ACE bandage on my knee or yoga, and I think it actually helped. My knee was still tight, but it wasn't like throbbing pain. So I was able to get through at least 2 miles today. So hopefully tomorrow is supposed to be a much more gorgeous day than today. Look at the sky. It is cloudy. It is supposed to be storming on and off all day today. Hopefully I will be able to tomorrow try to push myself a little bit further and maybe do the 4 miles. I'm not sure. I have never actually walked 4 miles all at once. I usually do about 2.5. So, and that was before I hurt my knee. So I am kind of a little bit, but I want to do this. I want to do this. And my brother says, I always say it's kind of funny. The whole reason I started doing this is I'm such a huge Star Wars fan, and I did the virtual half marathon for Star Wars, see R2 on my wall. And the only reason I did it is I wanted that R2-D2 medal because I'm like, that would be such a cool piece of Star Wars paraphernalia to have, is this virtual half marathon medal. And that's the only reason I did it. But even though it was January and it was stupid not to wait to do it, I actually discovered I really enjoyed doing the virtual half marathon. It was so much fun. I think part of the reason I like biking and walking is it gives me a minute to myself, especially when my mom and my brother are home. I just want some peace and quiet, so I just like that. But I really enjoyed it. So I did another one. I did one with my bike, and I really liked it. So that's why I kept doing it, is I really like it. It being Marvel is kind of a draw, but I'm really excited that I'm doing this. And I'm so proud of myself because this time last year, I never even thought about doing stuff like this. So yay! I'm making progress. So that is going to be it for this week. On tap for next week, tomorrow, you see that big ugly thing behind me? That is my closet. I will be cleaning that out at some point tomorrow, which means my room will be a mess. Yay! So I'm going to be cleaning that out tomorrow. I work again next week, and I'm kind of bummed because I got my schedule for the week after next. I work 2 days next week, and then I work 1 day the following week, and my brother also works 1 day that week, so we don't know what's going on. So that will be fun. My mom is trying to plan something where we're going to go up to Mackinac Island because she actually wants to go up to Mackinac Island and walk around, and I have 2 ferry passes, which means if our dad came with us, we'd only have to buy 3 round trip ferry passes because I have 2 one-ways. So we're trying to get into that, trying to do that, and then hopefully next month I will be going to Michigan's Adventure, so I don't know what's going on, and maybe on the 9th I might be going to a ball game. No, so I will be going for the week, you guys. Stay safe, stay sane. I'm sending you all lots of love, hugs, and prayers, and let me check, and as I say, I'm back to you. Good journey. So, bye guys. See you next week.